this and that. And in the end, even though people were using those tools, it was always much more oriented on a server-based platform, right? Meaning that, hey, you drop files into a certain place, and then you can go and access it, yes, with your browser and stuff like that. But it is not the seamless way in which you come in and I use different devices. So for instance, if I had an iPhone and an iPad, and I wanted to access something on the network, which is in a SharePoint site or an eRoom, it always meant that they had to log in, either use VPN or some other means, use VDI as a mechanism to get in, and that was a very clunky way of getting to it. So we said, hey, we need to be looking at other mechanisms of doing that. And came along Simplicity. One of the things I should say is Simplicity at that time at least looked as good as Dropbox or Box.net to us. I mean, meaning that it had many of the consumer level features that you would expect, but not the enterprise level features. So is it secure enough was one instance. It was still running in the AWS cloud at that time, and we were saying, hey, a lot of people are sharing very sensitive information on file shares and so on and so forth. Would we be comfortable putting that stuff out in a public cloud kind of setting? That was one. But at the same time, we didn't want to stop the flow of information and the innovation that could happen with it. So we said, let's work with the Simplicity team. We absolutely are committed to bringing this platform in, but let's work with them to actually add in the enterprise features. And obviously, we were not the engineers building the product, but we worked with them. And so the things we started looking at was, okay, how can you first of all have an on-premise implementation? And so we said, could you put this on an Atmos? Could you put this on an Isilon kind of a footprint? And so they started looking at that and bringing that onto a platform. So today, our rollout of Simplicity is all based on an on-premise kind of a model. And so where the data, it's definitely stored on-premise for us. Can we extend it out to a hybrid cloud model? Absolutely, because we run in that mode today because the initial free accounts that people had on Simplicity are still out on Amazon, but we are bringing them and converting them to come onto our platform, our internal platform today. Aspects of security, of course, and we worked with the team to say that, okay, there is a notion of authentication initially. How does it get integrated with our RSA two-factor when you sign on initially, as an example? But then subsequently, when you're actually using the product, not everybody wants to, every time you use the product, nobody wants to sign on with a two-factor key fob authentication. So we said, how can we enable that to happen much more seamlessly? And so that happened, we worked with the team on that. The third area is around, okay, here I am, I want to share not only within the enterprise, but outside of the enterprise. I'm sending links over to people. Now, the links can point to very sensitive data as well. And so, how can we actually enable it with passwords? And so at least a mechanism by which we can have a notion of more security and more secure access to it. And so that's what we worked with the team on. Our initial and final goal on this was to say, let's enable all of the business and the agility that it brings and the productivity that this kind of a tool brings, but at the same time preserve what you would consider as assets which are very core to EMC. I believe we've done that, and thanks to the Simplicity team who are working so closely with us and enabling the entire enterprise. At this point of time, we are pretty much on about 45,000 almost people with all of EMC rolled onto it, and more people are getting rolled onto it, yeah.
So KK, that was an interesting strategy because we talk about consumerization of IT all the time and expected behavior of applications based on what people do on their phones and other things. Right. But you guys, rather than just look at it and then try to build from scratch something to replicate, actually taking what was there and then trying to wrap it and really integrate it back into an enterprise-centric environment.
Absolutely. And that is the model that we are, as the very core to our strategy today, right? Before, EMC IT could have probably said, hey, I don't want shadow IT, I don't want other apps coming in, we got to build it all. Even if we are integrating with others, we used to have very restrictive kinds of mechanisms. We've seen, we've smelled the coffee, if you will, right? We've seen that everybody wants to bring their home experience into the workplace. We want to enable that as much as possible, but very central to it is absolutely keeping the security.
Or the appetite to go and build it themselves. So people like CSC who are here, people like Atos who are here, took, I would say, a relatively early move advantage in that market. They allowed themselves an element of redefinition in terms of what they did and how they sold that proposition. And you now see increasingly the service providers looking at those models and saying, we need that. We need this speed, this agility. We need the opportunity to go and compete in a market where cloud is what a customer is asking me for. I need the optimum way of delivering that to them.
Yeah, the CSC is an interesting example. I know in reading the Gartner Magic Quadrant on infrastructure as a service, obviously Amazon, up and to the right, but number 2 was CSC. And Gartner actually specifically mentioned converged infrastructure, and they might even specifically mention VCE as a partner, as part of how CSC was able to deliver that. With switching topics, growing 50% a year, $1.8 billion book of business. So you have mostly tailwinds right now, not headwinds. But to the extent there are headwinds and people are concerned about moving to converged infrastructure, are they afraid of putting all their eggs in one basket? Are there organizational issues? I often tell clients, look, think about your org chart. Think about how you're into stovepipes. Maybe you don't want to think about that as you're bringing in this new infrastructure, or maybe even try to sort that out beforehand. Or is that advice slow them down? Should they just bring it in and then figure it out? What are you seeing in your client base? What's best practice?
It's the latter.
Yeah.
So people look at converged infrastructure as a way of moving workloads from traditionally quite difficult places onto a simplified infrastructure. That's one of the beauties of the proposition. Once the vBlock is on the data center floor, it's the what happens next that changes the way.
It's a catalyst.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Right? You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, and in some regards we act as a way of breaking eggs.
Well, maybe